What's going on, y'all? So we are back for another episode review of American Horror Stories. This is season 1, episode 4. What is this called? I think it's called The Naughty List. Okay, but before we get into the video, because technically speaking, if you want to be quite honest, it really wasn't much. All right. And that's why I'm giving y'all this right here, right now. The episode was kind of short. It was like only 37 minutes or something, but it was enough for me to talk about. Before we truly get into the video, if you watch me and you are also subscribed to Bondi Blue's channel, please go to her other channel, Relax with Blue, and subscribe to her. I feel so horrible about what happened to her channel, and I pray that she can get hers back. I don't know the ins or out of what happened, and it was just giving me freaking flashbacks and paranoia. I'm just going to be honest, it just gave me a lot of flashbacks and paranoia to what happened to my channel a few years ago, and it just made me sick to my stomach. Like I just really got nervous and everything like that, because I know how that feels. And it's unfortunate, and I don't know what happened, but hopefully it was just a simple mistake and it's something that they can get back, and I just hope everything works out for the best. But like I said, if you are a fan of hers, or I should say a subscriber, if you're a subscriber of the original channel, please go to her Relax with Blue channel that she's using for backup at this moment, and subscribe to her if you want to keep up with her. You know what I'm saying? So we here for you, girl. But anyway, so we get up into this episode of American Horror Stories, all right? And it is basically about how, and it is so crazy that this all happened during this time. It is so crazy. Like, this episode hit close to home because it is something that it irked me watching this. And it irked me for the reason because, not because they did the episode and because it was, I'm just come to the conclusion that American Horror Story is just going to be corny, okay? It's just going to be corny little stuff to get us through. I'm not taking it seriously, but this subject matter about social media influencers, and, we see so much of this going on right now. We see a lot of social media, top social media influencers, especially those that's on TikTok or whatever. They get into these TikTok houses and they got to put out certain amount of content each and every day. They got to meet a certain amount of quota of views and likes and shares and stuff like that. And it's so much pressure because they want to be known, they want to be famous, they want to do whatever they can, anything they can to get attention, that sometimes they don't think about what it is that they do. They want to post each and everything, and that's basically what this episode was talking about. You have a bro house. That is what it's called. It's a social media YouTube house, okay? And if you go on social media, you go on YouTube, some of y'all probably know some of these cliques that get together and they always collaborating with each other, or they live in the same house and they're being sponsored by this, being sponsored by that. So this is no different. We get this bro house that's consisted of 4 people, 4 guys. One guy name is Zen, so he's like, I guess you would say he's like the head of the house, Then we get Wyatt. Wyatt played on, oh my God, what did he play on? Riverdale. Wasn't he on Riverdale? The Asian boy that was on Riverdale, right? And then you get James, played by, was James the black boy? Let me see. Hold on. Let me look it up. I got my computer right here. Ricky, right? Yes. James was Ricky. I said Ricky. All right. Ricky from Pose, if y'all remember. And then you got Barry. They call James the heartthrob. You know what I'm saying? With Zen, he was more so like the troublemaker of the group, the one that's really, really super wild and everything like that. They call Wyatt the heartthrob, or whatever I should say. He was the one, he came from a background of, he was in college at one point. He could have been a doctor. He was in medical school and stuff like that. But then he went on ahead and did social media. And then you got James, who used to have his own channel. They call him like the pretty boy or whatever. And he had his own channel reviewing beauty products for men. Okay. And they threw that in there because later on something's gonna come up. And I was just sitting here like, now Ricky, now Dylan, baby, I don't know what your sexuality is, and it don't matter to me. But I'm like, so what are you playing? But then it comes back up, and I'm like, oh, so is he like that? Is he gay in real life? Like, if you know that, put it down in the comments. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm family. We want to support everybody. And then you get Barry. Barry is like the nerd of the group, the one that probably would be, of course, he's the background and basically was forced to be background, and he claimed that he was okay with it, but truth be told, I don't think he really is, because they don't really listen to him. He films the videos, he edits the videos, and he puts the videos up when he wants them to, okay, regardless of how he may feel. And we see all of that throughout the whole episode. And basically they're just doing crazy stunts and shows and stuff like that for views, and they're really popular. They're trying to get to like 5 million views at this point. And of course, they're in this big old mansion. They got Lamborghinis and all this other sponsored stuff. And after we get that introduction, we go into the actual show. Okay, it's 5 days before Christmas, and the issues for them starts when they go to, what is that place in LA? It's the river, but it's not really a river no more. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But if you saw the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They was over there, and it's a bridge, okay? They was camped out there for like 16 hours. And I guess this is supposed to be called Suicide Bridge. And let me just tell you this is a trigger warning. I want everybody to be okay. I don't want to, it's dealing with a little bit of fucked upness, okay? So they call it the Suicide Bridge because around this time before Christmas, the holidays, there's always somebody, it's rumored that it's always somebody that comes out there that make an attempt on their life, and they want to see a jumper. And I'm sitting here like, are you serious? And then when they finally find somebody, they're like, Zen is like, go ahead and film it. Go ahead and film it. Barry is trying to say, I don't think that we should do this. Okay, this don't seem right. And then it was like, go ahead and do it. We've been sitting out here all this time. And at the same time, it's like, y'all are literally sitting out here trying to find somebody who is about maybe take their life and film it for views. All of this just for views. Like, we have no common humanity, we have no integrity, we have no morals. And that is what it was showing, like how the morals and common sense and humanity and all that shit get crossed up and probably put to the side sometimes with certain people when they get into these roles of social media influencers and stuff like that. They blur the lines. They just do whatever it is that they feel like they want to do just to get some freaking hits and stuff. They don't care how it may affect other people, and this whole setting right here reminds me of the Logan Paul, Jake Paul, when they went to that forest out there in Japan, and was it Japan, right? And they filmed that person body, and the backlash, because it was a sacred place. You're not supposed to do that, you know what I'm saying? And they faced a lot of backlash, but yet they're still here, okay? So unfortunately this person did jump, okay, and they were filming it, and they are all cheering bro house, and all that stuff or whatever. And they threw a whole ass party. Barry's still trying to tell Zen and them, don't put it up. But you got this whole party, and everybody's, I guess they was live streaming at one point, and he was like, go ahead and put it up, it's gonna be good. Bitch, they put that video up, and everybody that was in the party, when they was looking at it live and all this stuff, they just started walking out. They was like, this disgusting. Why would you do some shit like this, okay? And, ever since then, like the next day, we on day 4, they was like, losing followers by the thousands, 50,000 followers going down and stuff like that. And, at one point, they was trying to figure out how can we get these followers back, and they was like, maybe put a video up and all this stuff, and was like, nope, because I'm not going to put an apology video up, because then people not going to buy it, because they going to feel like, oh, you putting out fake tears and you really don't mean it. Mind you, it got really blown up because the person's family, they put out a video against them, did a press conference against the bro house. So now they're public enemy number one at this point. Don't nobody give a care about them. They think they're sick. They think they're vile. They're wrong as hell for what they did, and they truly are. So they come up with this idea to basically do gay stuff, appear to be gay but not really gay. It's called homosexual stuff or whatever. And then what made me so mad is because they do this. They really do this. If you go on TikTok and you see a group, especially a certain type of people on TikTok, they fake gay just for views and stuff, okay? Or like they're flirting with each other and you know that they're not, and they call it homosexual and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting here like, what? Why it kept on saying no homo after each thing? And it was just like, they putting the videos up or whatever, and it's still not making any views. They had one scene where what's his name? Oh my God. James, he was eating the ice cream and it fell on his chest, and Zen and Wyatt was licking it off, and then Wyatt notices that James got a little hard, and I was like, well, he is, because Wyatt trying to imply that he was gay too anyway, because that's why he was doing them beauty products. I said, you don't have to be gay to do beauty products, but he tried to play it off like he really wasn't getting hard or whatever, but he really was. And at this moment, they realized that it's not going to help, okay? They still was losing followers. They still was losing subscribers and stuff. So at this point, they was going out. They went to a mall. We see this Santa Claus and these kids, and they're talking to Santa Claus, what the kids always do each and every year, and they go up to this elf, okay? And it was a woman, I should say. And they're asking questions, and Zen was basically, sexually harassing her and making all these cruel jokes and stuff about her. And it was just a lie. And I was just like, oh my God, and you want to post this, and then you go over there to the Santa Claus. Oh my God, who played the Santa Claus? If you seen him in Con Air, girl, he been in Con Air. He been in everything. What was his name? What is his name? Danny, Danny Trujillo. Y'all know who it is, okay? Him. But he's sitting there looking at them harass this girl, okay? Then there comes somebody that little person who was playing one of the elves, a little smaller elf, and they're being rude to him. And it was mostly Wyatt and Zen that was doing it, okay? James, he looks like a follower, and Barry is just to the side, just recording. He's the one telling them, no, we shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, but they're not listening to him, okay? And so Zen gets up there, and he goes on this rant about how Christmas ain't real, or I should say Santa Claus ain't real, and it's your parents doing this, and getting all up in the Santa face, and the Santa told them to leave, okay? And he pushed him down or whatever, and he was like, you gonna get yours soon, okay? And so security came and got them out, and I was just like, all of this for views. This is being recorded, and you already pissed off people by being an ass, by filming somebody's death, right? And so I'm sitting here like, why was that even allowed to be put up, for one, okay? And then you go out and you film another video disrespecting and being sexist and misogynistic, and then just being a rude person, and you think that that's going to get you out of the doghouse that you have with your subscribers? No, they put the video up and they still losing supporters and stuff like that. And next thing you know, people coming in and they're taking back the Lamborghini that they got. They're taking back a lot of the sponsored videos and stuff, or sponsored items that they had. Next thing you know, after that, Zen gets a phone call from the cops and basically was like, we need y'all to come down to the police station to talk to y'all about the Santa Claus that was at the mall, because he really wasn't on payroll, and they found the real Santa Claus. He was all dead in his house in a box or something. I said, oh man, because I was wondering when we finna get to the grower, okay, when we finna get to what makes this American Horror Story, you know what I'm saying? And so we found him just dead and just crumpled up and pushed into a box. I said, how did he break his body down like that? But then, Wyatt, he was upset because he like, I can't go back to my parents. I can't go back to being a regular life or whatever. I can't. And so he goes out to go get some beer or whatever. He looks into the refrigerator. I guess where he went was like, I don't know, was it in a different part of the house or whatever, but it was a camera in the refrigerator, and he looking like, what? Next thing you know, he get a hand put over his mouth, okay? The Santa Claus from the mall was there. Took his face and twisted his neck until his spine popped out the back. And then uploaded it. Mind you, the police officer said, this person has been doing this for a minute and they could be next. And so when they uploaded the footage, they're like, how is this being uploaded? Because it wasn't the boys that was doing it. They like, nobody else has access to this account, so how is this happening? And people are like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is like some good effects. They thinking that it's effects and stuff like that, but it was really a death, okay? Zen went out there to go look for Wyatt. Next thing you know, he get confronted by old boy, the Santa Claus, and he beats him up, ties him up in the lights, you know what I'm saying, the lights that you put around your house, and then throws him up into the water, electrocutes him. The power goes out in the house. James and Barry, they're scared, and they go running outside. Before they go outside to try to leave and get in the car, because at this point in time, everybody thinks this is a prank, okay? Because everything is being uploaded online, and this is what happens when people do so much pranks. Okay, and I can't stand looking at a lot of pranks on people's video. It's literally couple channels that do nothing but pranks, and I don't like it. And then it gets to the point where back in the day, the pranks used to be real. You can tell now in certain people. I watch this couple's channel, okay, and you can tell that their pranks are not real anymore, if they ever were. The acting is bad, and it's just like, come on, like, stop. You're running out of content at this point, and so it got to the point that people don't believe them. So when they put out there that they need help, it's like, oh, they lying. This is another prank or whatever. So before Barry and James left out the house, James had said, I need to confess. I was hard. It wasn't chubby or whatever. Barry was like, listen, I already know. So as soon as they go out the house, James get hit in the hand with a candy cane thing or whatever. Santa Claus is up on the roof or whatever, and he done shot him into the hand and got him pinned down in the on the car, okay? And next thing you know, he shoots another one, and it hits Barry in the knee or in the thigh, something like that. Then he shoots another one, and it goes straight through old boy neck, James, okay? So James is the next person that died. Zen, understandable, okay, because he was an ass, you know what I'm saying? Wyatt, also a douche. James, you're a follower. That's why you got it. Truth be told, I felt as though Barry should have survived, okay? Barry came in because he tried, but see, the Santa Claus didn't know. Barry was guilty by association. That's all that it was. I felt like he was an innocent bystander because, truth be told, not necessarily innocent, because he could have just walked away, but he did it. He was dependent on them. And at that point, Barry crawled into the house. He goes on the computer trying to tell them, typing in on the chat, I need help. Everybody's dead and all that stuff. Of course, they're not going to believe. But then at this point, he sees some stuff and hear like this footsteps on the chimney on the roof, and he was like, I know he not really gonna come down the chimney like Santa Claus. Oh, he not coming down, but he gonna sprinkle some gasoline down. And what made me mad was Barry actually crawled over there to see what was going on. If I hear some mess happening in a particular area and I'm in a state of distress, I'm not finna go see what that is. I'm finna leave. Okay, bitch. He got sprinkled with some gasoline. And while all of this is going on, they're gaining followers. You see how sick and twisted things are? You didn't like the fact that they filmed somebody's death, but then you see them doing these so-called pranks that look realistic as heck, and all of a sudden it's, let me follow back. Okay, up until the point where they finally get 5 million followers, subscribers, what they was looking for, and then all of a sudden the house gets set on fire. Barry gets set on fire, and he jumps into the pool to set him, I guess to, calm it down or whatever, to put the fire out, but he's dead at this point. When the detectives and stuff get there, they see, I think it was Zen, his head on top of the Christmas tree, and basically all of their, body parts just decorating the tree. And then we see Santa Claus sitting outside, and it was this other Santa Claus that was drunk coming out from the, I think that was the police station, and he was looking. And I was like, oh, so that's your next victim? It was crazy. The episode was corny, but it was a lesson, about these social media influencers and a lot of people, how, people are becoming desensitized to the content that they see, and more so about not putting up quality stuff, but it's all about views and being the best this and doing the craziest this, and not thinking about the content that they put up that can hurt people, you know what I'm saying, and just being weird, you know what I'm saying. The way things are, it irked me because we seen this, especially as soon as I saw what was going on. I immediately thought about that incident with Logan Paul and Jake or whatever, whichever one it was that happened, and that whole fallout. And we've seen so many other people that committed crazy stuff that came against them just for views and stuff like that, that had a backlash, and then they leave for a few minutes and then they come back, and people, I'm not going to subscribe to you anymore, I'm going to take my subscribership back, and next thing you know, their account go down a little bit, give it a little bit of time, and then it goes back up. We see it all the time. But that was American Horror Stories. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.